The world has been forever changed. A few months ago, billions of people reappeared after 5 years away, sending the world into turmoil. We need new heroes. Welcome to the Pixel Pop Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Toby. With me this episode, I'm joined by two new heroes. Well, I mean, not new, but heroes nevertheless. The looks great in spandex, Lucas.
Absolutely not.
And the never leaves home without his vibranium shield, Ethan.
Oh yes, but yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I like that. I don't know if I'm worthy enough for it. But
Well, no, it's fine because it's not like a hammer. It's just a shield.
I'm not a good man.
It's just a piece of tin.
So I
Well,
shouldn't be able to-
neither's the current Captain America, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about.
He seems like a fine fellow.
Yeah, he's getting compared to old mate from The Boys, actually. But let's not digress now. We'll get to it. 3 weeks we've been away. We've got a bunch of trailers, a bunch of news to get through. Some good stuff starting to happen. We've got movies coming back to the cinema, guys. Finally. So. Oh, it's taken so long. This episode, we're going to cover all of that. Topics of conversation are going to be Godzilla versus Kong. Yes? Yes, you two
Hells
gentlemen.
yes.
Yeah, hells yes. And then The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episodes 1 through 4. So we're going to be doing spoiler-free and spoiler and all of this. We will be giving you clear warnings. We won't just dive into spoilers, and not give you a chance to switch off. So you'll be fine with that. But before we get into all that nonsense, let's just start with some of this amazing news. Please, take us away, Ethan.
First bit of big news: Black Widow and Cruella are to debut on Disney Plus and in theaters on the same day.
To debut on Disney Plus, theaters, The Pirate Bay, Torrent Freaks. Not that I would ever condone that course of action, but for those of you that are, unemployed, have very little money and stuck at home, you'll be happy.
Yeah, so Black Widow comes out on July 9th, and I can't see a release date for Cruella.
Cruella is May 28th.
28th.
May 28th, yep. And then they also announced a whole bunch of other movies at the same time. They announced that Luca is going to be going directly to Disney Plus on June 18th. And then they put the rest of the dates up. So Free Guy on August 13th. The King's Man is going to be out December 22nd. Deep Water on the 14th of January. Death on the Nile on February 11th. And Shang-Chi on September 3rd. All in theaters.
Yeah. So it's only going to be, Cruella, Luca, and Black Widow at this stage, so they can hit the streaming services, right?
Yes, but
Yep.
Cruella and Black Widow are going to Premiere Access, which is that $30
Yeah.
pay the movie thing. Luca is going straight to Disney Plus like Soul did.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next we have Shazam 2 has cast Helen Mirren as the villain.
Yeah, I've seen Helen in a number of things, of course. She's a great actress.
And she would have just signed up for this just for the fun of it, like she did with Fast and Furious. She just wants to do some shit that's fun.
Yeah. No, I'm sure she'll bring some weight to the role.
Next we have Keanu Reeves is to star in and produce in a Berserker live-action film and anime series based on the comic that he co-wrote.
Very cool. Very excited for this. Berserker's, I haven't read it yet, but apparently Berserker is nuts. And it's all his baby, so yeah, makes sense that he would want to at least produce it, but to star in it as well, it's going to be killer.
So it's described as a brutally epic saga about an immortal warrior, 80,000-year fight through the ages. The man is only known as V, is half mortal and half god, cursed and compelled to violence, even at the sacrifice of their sanity. But after wandering the earth for centuries, V may have finally found refuge, ready for the US government to fight the battle too violent and too dangerous for anyone else.
I'm surprised. Keanu Reeves writing a comic book about an immortal when he is
Exactly.
being immortal himself.
Ron Livingston is set to replace Billy Crudup as Henry Ellen in the Flash movie. It will finally be gearing up soon to start filming. Finally.
Yeah, it's about time. It's only
Yeah.
taken, 4 or 5 years?
Yep. They leave it much longer, it'll be like need a walking frame as he moves fast. It really annoys me. I know it's nobody's fault, obviously a lot of stuff with COVID and then whatever other nonsense goes on, but yeah, that's if you think about the DC stuff, I mean, I know Marvel had 10 years, but they produced whatever it was, like a dozen films, whereas DC sort of had the same time frame and produced like 4 or whatever. And where Marvel's starting to retire characters and finish up their story arcs, like DC's still right in the middle of things, and the actors aren't getting any younger.
So for comparison, right, and I guess to keep in mind too, that Marvel is a very well-oiled machine in that everyone talks to each other, and it's very, fluid. Marvel have put out 23, technically it'll be 24 films this year, over the space of 14 years. And in the same amount of time, DC's put out 10, with 5 years less time.
Yeah.
And Marvel have had a massive critical, quality. It's a massive quality difference.
Yeah.
You would think with less movies, the movies would be better, but they're not. They're worse.
What else is happening, Ethan?
We had a trailer for The Nevers. I mean, it looks interesting. It's just nothing to grip me in.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. Like in concept, it sounds pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna just. I don't feel like it's gonna hit the way it's going. It wants to.
Well, it's going to HBO anyway, so you'd have to look around for it if you know what I mean. Anyway, so you'd have to go out of your way to watch it, unless it comes to Stan or something.
Yeah, so binge.
Oh, binge, yeah. I don't have binge, so anyway.
Definitely worth it. Again, not to be the binge stan here, but that's pretty much all we've been watching for the past 6 weeks. Barely touched Netflix, barely touched anything else. It's just been watching everything that's on the stand.
I bought Shudder because they're doing a half price deal at the moment. You can get 6 months at $3.50 a month.
$40, right?
No, they're not doing the annuals. You can only get a discount on the monthly, but if you sign up, you get $3.50 a month for 6 months. But you could cancel any time. So I just thought, well, for $3.50, I'll have a crack at a month, and if I like it, I'll stick around.
What, like $25?
Well, yeah, whatever. Well, no, it's normally $7 a month, and as I said, it's $3.50 at the moment a month.
Yeah, for $6, it's 6 months. That's
it's bugger all.
$21.
Yeah, something like that for 6 months. Yeah, it's nothing.
Shit,
yeah.
That's not bad. I'm gonna have to jump on that.
Well, I said, I thought
I've seen there's some really good stuff on there. There's a specific movie I want to watch on there called The Pale Door.
It's a bit weird though. I'll just warn you. They seem to advertise all their shows, but then some of them you just can't play, and I'm assuming it's because there's one show it's 2 seasons, but you can't even see season 2 at all, and I think it's geo-locked. It's a bit weird.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, because I noticed in the comments, because there's a lot of reviews and comments, and people are like, wait, where's season 2? Can I not watch it in the UK? But then there's other people that reviewed it and said season 2 is really good. So I think some of the rather than having a storefront for Australia and a storefront for America and a storefront, I think you just all get the same storefront, and then certain things you just can't play if you're in that area. So I've just got to get my VPN up and running, and that should fix that problem. But again, for $3.50, I've already watched a bunch of documentaries on there.
Trailer for Stowaway coming to Netflix on the 22nd of this month.
Bro, this looks nuts. Came out of nowhere. I hadn't heard anything about it until the trailer dropped.
Yeah, so the director of it is Joe Pena, who used to be on YouTube as Mystery Guitar Man years and years and years back. He did a movie a couple of years back called Arctic with Mads Mikkelsen, and this was his next movie after that.
Alright, sounds cool.
Yeah.
We had the official Red Band trailer for the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
We actually got 2 of them.
Oh yeah, we had the Red Band one, then a normal trailer. With the second one having a bunch of new footage in it as well.
Second one, not a red band.
No, second one wasn't a Red Band.
Ah, okay. I thought it was.
Yeah, coming out August 6th on HBO Max and theaters, same day.
Yeah,
this is looking good.
Yeah. Well, it's also James Gunn, so I mean, I'm expecting the comedy to be on track this time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that cast. Oh my god, that cast.
Oh, the cast is stacked.
Yeah.
We have a trailer for Loki.
Yes, super keen.
11.
Yeah, with I think we've all agreed now. I've been persuaded it's Lady Loki.
Yes, 100%
Yeah.
Loki.
Yeah, because now that I saw those photographs of the actress, that kind of all adds up. I'm sure Marvel did it on purpose though, just to bait.
Oh, I have watched so many reactions, even from the very first teaser they posted and this one. Everyone being like, "Oh my god, is that Black Widow?"
Yeah.
It's
I'm certain they're trying to bait. Hey.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, this looks really interesting. Looking
Looking how most of their shows are different from each other.
They are. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I imagine Loki's going to have almost like an Umbrella Academy feel.
Which is what one of my friends said today. He reckons it feels like Umbrella Academy of it.
Yeah. Not a bad thing.
Next to the trailer for Netflix's Jupiter's Legacy.
This looks super cool.
Coming out May 7th, based on Mark Miller's comic series. Netflix Millerverse that they bought for a lot of money.
Yeah, this is the first movie as part of that Mark Miller Millerverse.
Oh, you watch it. To me, it looks like there's some scenes in there that are done good, and there's some scenes that aren't done good, so it's a little confusing on what it could be. But yeah, we have Pierce Brosnan has been cast as Dr. Fate and Black Adam.
Yeah, that's really cool. I went and did some homework on that afterwards to find out who Dr. Fate was, and
Oh yeah,
sounds like a pretty cool and interesting character. Similar to like Doctor Strange a little bit, in just sort of like he's a wizard.
Well, that was the thing when they ages back in the comics, Marvel and DC worked on a series together where they actually merged a character from each of their comics together to become one.
Ah.
They had Doctor Strange Fate.
Ah, well that works, yeah.
So then they had one called Darkwing, I think he was called, and it was Wolverine and Batman merged together and all that sort of stuff. So they have they did whole series like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it sounds like an interesting character.
Yeah. So you have Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, Quintessa Swindell as Cyclone, Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam, Aldous Hodge as Hawkman, and Toby's favorite, Noah Centineo as Adam Smasher.
Isn't that the He-Man kid?
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck off.
So yeah, I'm looking for, and it's also started filming. It started filming this week, so I feel we're gonna begin that soon. Next we have Spiral. Release date has been moved up to May 14th in theaters.
Yeah.
Wasn't it originally like later in the month?
Yeah. So, it's out in Australia on the 20th. Sorry, 20th of May.
Oh, so we're getting it later. Boo.
Yeah, 6 days later.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna hold off and go sit at the cinema, right?
Yeah.
Of course. What a dumb question.
Yeah, I know.
But also, today, Saw X also got announced, even before Spiral comes out.
Yeah. So it sounds like from everything that I've kind of read into, Spiral is a copycat killer, but then there's also going to be like a 10 that's going to be tied back to the original movies in the Jigsaw movie, but like it's all kind of within the same universe. But as well, what's interesting too is that James Wan and Lee Whannell are both also attached to executive produce. So, which are the guys obviously that created the universe. So it's kind of cool that they're coming back for a new one.
Yeah, I know you guys are going to be keen for Spiral, so
Oh yeah.
I hope it's good for your sake.
Next we have a National Treasure TV series.
Is Nicky Boy coming back with it?
No, it's going to have a Latina lead. It's been greenlit by Disney Plus.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough.
10 episode order.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I some people love Nick Cage, so I guess they might be disappointed he's not coming back. But oh well.
I mean, he might come back at some way.
It's a full reboot too.
Don't know.
I suppose, like, if you remember the Librarians TV series, I don't know if you watched
A
it.
reimagining of it.
No,
I watched Librarians.
Whatever it was.
No,
he'd pop in now and again.
Because he did 2 or 3 Librarian movies.
Yeah, he did 3 movies. Yeah. So
and then he popped in to like just connect the two.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe they'll do something like that. We'll see.
Sony and PlayStation Productions are developing a Ghost of Tsushima movie with John Wick's Chad Stahelski directing.
I guess
apparently,
that's a good thing. I don't think I'm familiar with the game.
No, I haven't played it well, but apparently it's, from what I've seen, it is really nice. The game directors have actually recently become ambassadors for the actual real Tsushima Island and all this sort of stuff because of what the game's drawn and like brought light to the island and all this sort of stuff. Like it's done good for tourism and all this sort of stuff. Apparently it's based on true things in the past and it's a really good game apparently. So
what you're saying is we need like a Ghosts of Queensland like video game to boost tourism.
100%. 100. We need a Phasmophobia map in Queensland.
Or how about South Island, New Zealand? Where it's like cold and windy and stuff.
Nah, there's more hauntings in the North Island.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
George R. R. Martin has signed a 5-year HBO deal with 6 Game of Thrones series.
Yeah? How about he finishes his book first? The fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
This is just getting silly now. Like, it sort of went on and on and on, became a joke and memes, and now it's just fucking dumb. It's like he's trying to, like, hold everyone to ransom or some shit. I don't know. But, maybe just finish the books, bro. Maybe just finish the book. Trouble is now it's probably so fucked up like that. If everyone will be disappointed no matter what. I don't know.
Next we have the full cast list for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Holy shit! Like the cast is pretty chunky.
Oh yeah, you got Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen who are already set to be coming in this thing. Moses Ingram, Joel Edgerton and Bonnie Tyler, who were in
Yep, so reprising.
3. Yep, reprising from 2 and 3. Kumail Nanjiani, who I'm sure you know.
Mm-hmm.
Indira Varma, who
Yep.
was from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Yeah,
and-
she was in-
well, she's British, so I think she's in a bunch of British shows as well. I've watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big claim to fame is Luther.
Yeah.
Rupert Friend, O'Shea Jackson Jr., who's Ice Cube's son.
Ice Cube's kid, yeah.
Doesn't he look
Sun
like
Kang.
Dad? Doesn't he look like Dad? Holy shit, he looks like Dad.
Yep.
The older he gets, the more he looks like his dad, yeah.
Yep.
Sun Kang, who Han from Fast and Furious.
Yep.
Simone Kessel and Benny Safdie.
Yep.
Isn't Benny Safdie one of the brothers that did that?
And look,
He did that Uncut Gems movie with Adam Sandler. Like he wrote and directed it.
Benny
Yeah.
the Safdie brothers, yeah.
Yeah, he's normally a director, but yeah, he's cast in this. I think he was also in he was in that other movie he did with Robert Pattinson, Good Time.
Maybe.
Because I know that one of them's an actor, and I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, what's up? Yeah, he was on there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
he's
So yeah, that's a
I
big
mean-
cast.
yeah.
So
I mean, it's
yeah.
gonna be really exciting. Like everyone that's in it, I at least have a passing knowledge of, and like, yeah. If it's anything to the quality of what Mandalorian is, this is gonna be excellent.
We have Russell Crowe has joined the cast of Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I wonder who he's playing then.
Me and Lucas might have an idea.
I mean, is it from an outlayer? Well, I mean, I haven't done my homework, but I mean, I would guess he's going to play some sort of character that's going to step in as a mentor role, perhaps to replace Odin.
I can't say anything about spoiling things.
Oh, don't spoil it then. That's fine. That's fine. I'd rather wait and find out.
It's not a huge spoiler. That's the thing.
Well, no, it's fine. I'd rather not have any spoilers. Let's not do any spoilers. Let's people
Alright.
find out naturally.
Okay.
So, and if he's not, well, then I hope he dies a horrible, gruesome death.
Mortal Kombat's release date has been pushed back from April 16th to April 23rd, which we've talked about,
Yes.
which is next week for us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's because it got postponed an extra week because of Godzilla vs. Kong. They just wanted to give that another week to breathe.
Yeah.
Next we have Knives Out has reportedly spent $450 million for 2 Knives Out sequels.
Yeah. Nearly
Netflix
half
put it on the-
a billion.
Yeah. Apparently both Daniel Craig and Ryan Johnson will make about $100 million for it.
Jesus, that's an obscene amount of money.
That's wild. I mean, like the first one was great, so I hope the quality stays the same and they make
Well, yeah.
good.
I think it's Netflix's biggest purchase. Yeah, it is. It's Netflix's biggest purchase in history. And
Yeah,
it's-
it probably would. It probably would be because they were saying at the time when Godzilla vs Kong was looking at going to Netflix exclusively.
Yeah.
They were saying that was the biggest, and it was 285 mil for one movie.
Gives you some idea of just how lucrative though this industry must be and how much money it makes when you consider for $500 million you can buy any number of companies and yet you're going to make 2 movies. Like that's just crazy. Which must mean they're obviously expecting to make like over $1 billion back across the 2.
Oh yeah.
That just gives you an idea of just how much money this stuff makes. It's crazy.
Well, they also have The Grey Man, which is Netflix's currently most expensive movie, which is 200 for the budget for it, 200 million. It's more than the Irishman.
Yeah.
They're going all out.
Yeah, well, it won't have what's her face. It'll just be Craig, won't it? Because it's more he's the focus.
It's like the Benoit Blanc ones, where it's him going around
Yeah.
solving crimes
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll just be like that.
Yeah.
Some disappointing news: Ava DuVernay's New Gods and James Wan's The Trench movies have been cancelled at Warner Brothers.
Okay.
I don't know if this means a lot to you, but for other people, this was some disappointing news.
So restore the Snyderverse hashtag.
It happened, unfortunately. Oh, that's the last bit of news, by the way.
Oh, okay, nice. Well, actually, apart from talking trending hashtags, apart from restore the Snyderverse, what about that release the Zemo cut?
Did you see that?
I did. Well played, Marvel. Well played. I thought that was a lot. What?
Marvel aren't afraid to lead into the meme.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. I mean, of course, I didn't watch the entire hour, but
I'm not a big fan.
I'm pleased it existed. All right. Well, thanks for the news. Before we jump into topics of conversation, let's just touch on some of the other shows that we might have been watching lately. let's start with you, Ethan. What have you been watching the last few weeks?
So I have been watching Superstore. I'm still dredging my way through.
Yep.
Haunted Latin America on Netflix. Been watching that. I have also been watching Invincible on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And I would recommend to you both to watch Invincible on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, we already talked about it. I'm waiting for it to finish, and I'm going to watch the whole first season in one bounce.
Do you know what it's about, Toby, or no?
I don't know. Have you watched The Shining by Stanley Kubrick?
I have not.
Well, there you go.
It's good.
No, but now you've told me to watch it, I can't.
You can't copy me.
I can copy anyone I want.
No.
That's his gimmick.
That's my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of shows I need to be finishing myself, so it'll be on the back burner. It might end up being like Lucas, where I'll just wait till it's all said and done.
There's only 8 episodes, I think, or 9 for the season, so it's got 3 left.
And Lucas, what about yourself, mate?
Yeah, finished Superstore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really obviously watch Godzilla and Kong. Apart from that, we just started rewatching Sons of Anarchy because Mrs. has never seen it. So, well, she's seen the first season, but I've had a craving to rewatch it lately. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, it's pretty much been it.
I finished watching the part 3 of Disenchanted on Netflix with the wife, the Matt Groening series. So my wife gets more of a laugh out of me. I get a little chuckle, but she for whatever reason it tickles her funny bone, so she has a right cackle at it, so that works for her. And I've got 1 episode left in season 1 of Snowpiercer, also on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, Snowpiercer's good.
Yeah.
I haven't started season 2 yet, but I know all season 2's out now.
Yeah,
so I should start.
No spoilers, but I had a few people that were a little disappointed with the finale of season 2. But I will get to them myself at some point and make my own, judgment, I guess. And then, yeah, as I said, I bought Shudder. I don't know why I get the two confused. I bought Shudder, and I've mainly watched the documentaries, but then Saturday night, I think? No, it's Friday night. We had a horror movie night, and we watched George Romero's Day of the Dead, which is the one set in the bunker. We watched The Power, which is a new one, Shudder exclusive. That was not too bad. And we watched some other thing. I can't remember what it was. Well, we watched 3. And it was good, because I sort of had a desire. I hadn't really watched any new horror movies in a while. So again, I've definitely got my $3.50 already in like a weekend. So I was happy about that. And then of course, yeah, each week waiting patiently for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, all right. Well, before we go to that, let's talk about Godzilla versus Kong. Spoiler free. What did you think, Lucas?
Very good.
Out of 5 stars?
4.5.
4.5. 4.5.
For like as is the case with these types of movies, the human story is a bit,
lacking. Yeah.
Bloated and unnecessary. But like you could have cut, like realistically, you could have cut out the majority of the Millie Bobby Brown plot, and would have been the same movie.
Just a question then. You've watched many of the Japanese films, I take it, for the Kong.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen a few.
Well, between you and Ethan, you might be able to answer this question. Did those older films have the same human story arcs in them? Like, is there all this sort of human storyline in there, or is it like 95%? Yeah. So does it have the same problems, or is this just something that's more of an issue with the American adaptations, or is it prevalent in both?
So the issue with the American, I'll say Western, I won't say American, but
yes.
the issue with the Western adaptations is that film studios look at it in the sense of you need a character to relate to. How can you relate to a giant radioactive dinosaur? So you put humans that are on the ground that have some tie to it, and that's your door into relevance.
Right.
So they try to flesh those characters out, and then are like, oh, by the way, big monster go boom fight.
Right.
So
is it?
I think they're looking at it the wrong way. The perfect way you can do it right, you can literally look at, and this is something I recommend, even if you if you're not a big fan of subtitled films, go watch Shin Godzilla, because that is the best Godzilla movie, like the American ones. They have a human story, and everything that's on the I'll be honest, I actually liked the first Godzilla human story. I thought that was really interesting, the way that they did it. But Yeah, I recommend people go and watch Shin Godzilla because it also has like the return of like the rubber suit Godzilla, which is kind of like you look at it now and it's a bit cheesy, but you know that's how they made Godzilla movies back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they go too deep in on one character normally, and with Millie Bobby Brown blowing up because of Stranger Things and all that kind of stuff, she's the big marketable star of the movie.
Yeah.
So you want to put that marketable character in a position where she's going to be in a lot of film, but realistically, her arc is so you can get one specific piece of story that they could have given to you a completely different way within that story.
Right.
And it would have been the same film. And
yeah,
you would have cut out.
I wasn't a
20,
massive fan of Skull Island,
time.
but I must be the oddity because I probably found I had more empathy for Kong than I did for any of the humans. Like he emotes, he expresses,
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, like he was more relatable for me than most of those characters. So
there's a reason for that.
Yeah. So what did you think, Ethan? 5 stars, all the rest of it. What were your thoughts? Spoiler free.
4 stars, same as you.
Yeah. Okay. So just that, and that's
the human story can. I didn't like the human story. It wasn't needed. I also wanted more monsters.
I will say it's. So there are two human stories in the film. So there's Alexander Skarsgård's story, and there's Millie Bobby Brown's story, and both of them have nothing to do with each other through the whole film. They're polar opposites. Millie Bobby Brown, you couldn't have had, you know, like I said, you could have taken the majority of her story out and it'd be the same film. If you take Alexander Skarsgård's character out, like his role is essential.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Of the film as well as like getting all the pieces in place.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. So 4 out of 5. Obviously, fans of the series will enjoy it. And for those of you who, like myself, I agree. Like my biggest problem with these films is, yeah, it's the human, and it seems to really drag out. For me, a lot of the time, it drags it out so much that it sours the action sequences. I know it's obviously a tension building technique as well, and so sometimes that's why they're not going to show you the creature to begin with, and then they build up to it. I get all that, but for me, like, I don't know, can't we just have a film where it's just big shit belts the crap out of each other?
That's what I want.
Welcome to Godzilla vs. Kong. You should watch it, Toby.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, all right, so let's
a solid half of the film is monster fights.
Let's ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. We're going to ring the spoiler bell. If you don't want this film spoiled for you, just scroll on down, look at the description of wherever you're listening to this, and you'll see time codes, and you can just skip ahead to our Falcon and Winter Soldier review. But fair warning, we're going to jump into spoilers now. We'll start with Ethan this time. Spoilery thoughts.
I like Big Monkey. Big Monkey is great with X. Big Monkey fucks a lot of shit up.
Right. So who wins?
Well, they have 3 fights.
Right, and then it's like one wins, the other one wins, and then it's a draw.
No.
So one wins. So Godzilla wins the first one.
Yep.
Kong wins the second one.
Yeah.
And then Godzilla wins the third one.
Okay.
Mate, Godzilla wins Kong wins the second one.
What I said, Kong wins the second one.
What's the second fight?
Where he fucks up with the fucking axe, and he's fucking out, and then he gets up.
Bro, that's all one fight, G.
Nah,
that's two different. That's one fight.
Kong wins one round.
Nah, that's one fight. It's two fights.
But
Three fights. What are you talking about? It's two fights.
Godzilla, of course you'll fucking say that.
No, it's 2 fights.
This is glorious. This is beautiful. I was waiting for one of you to say, no, neither. Mothra comes down or something and just fucks everybody up.
Only if that happened, I would have fucking jizzed all over the cinema if Mothra came.
Mothra just comes down and goes, fucks all your shit up. Yeah. Oh, what now? Now. I mean, I'm not going to watch it anytime soon. Where does Mechagodzilla come in?
Mechagodzilla?
Yeah. So there's another company. So there's a company in the background. So in the original, like in the other 3 films, there's Monarch. That's kind of playing around in the background and stuff. But there's another company in the background that basically is very, very shady, and it's the very cheeseball oh, we're a super shadowy organization, blah, blah, blah. There's also Brian Tyree Henry's character, who's a podcaster, who's like, oh, you know, he's a conspiracy theorist podcaster, who's like, oh, these guys are up to something, I know it, blah, blah, blah. And he's got like 300 episodes or something with really no evidence that this company is shady. Turns out they're shady. And so they build Mechagodzilla as a response to Godzilla himself, in that the event that Godzilla turns on humanity. Godzilla can sense like the radiation or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. I need to go back and rewatch it. Ethan will probably clarify it, but
yeah, you're sensing the radiation.
Radiation?
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, things like that.
Yeah, so he basically can pick up the radiation of this giant mecha version of himself, and he's going around and fucking up all their territory, like all their bases and stuff. Turns out they're powering Mechagodzilla using the decapitated skull of Ghidorah.
Right.
From the last film. You know how he got one of his heads cut off?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't watched it, but yeah.
Oh, so in the final battle of Godzilla versus Ghidorah, Ghidorah gets one of his heads cut off, and Tywin Lannister ends up purchasing it from...
Damn Tywin Lannister.
Hey?
Damn that Tywin Lannister.
Yeah, Lannisters are everywhere, man. But he ends up buying it off these like Indonesian fishermen, and somehow gives it to this company, and they become in possession of it, and then they're using the skull, or like the radiation of the Titan energy off the skeleton to power Mechagodzilla. But then the radiation in it essentially is too much, and it goes into business for itself and goes into autopilot, and then it just ends up wiping out half of Hong Kong.
Lovely. So, do you have any spoiler-free thoughts you'd like to sort of bring up in regards to the film?
Spoiler-free?
Sorry, spoilery thoughts. My apologies. Spoiler thoughts that you'd like to bring up to the film.
I mean, like the whole Hollow Earth scene is incredible. So they have a scene. Just this is more for Toby, but they have a scene where basically they explained to you earlier in the film that they found the entry point to the Hollow Earth, and that it's real, and that they can get into it, and they've got all this equipment. The same company that is trying to build the version of Godzilla, they're the ones that have found the entry point into the Hollow Earth. So they managed to follow Kong through the entry point of the Hollow Earth. They go in, and just visually, that place is incredible, because it's like, it kind of feels like, you know that scene in Inception where for the first time you see it come up when it's Leonardo DiCaprio and Ellen Page?
When do you mean come up?
Like when they're walking along that road, and then the road just goes up.
Yeah.
The road.
Yep.
So it's mind-bending shit like that.
Right.
But it's all like forest.
Yeah.
So like there's one point where like Kong's running up a mountain, and he runs up a mountain and he jumps off. He jumps off and he touches a mountain that's in the sky. But the moment he kind of gets to the point, like the middle point, the gravity changes, and then he ends up on that mountain.
Right.
And like, yeah, it's just really cool mind-bending stuff like that. And it's just the whole way that thing is put together and done is, I was sitting there being like, holy shit, like, just, it looked amazing.
Yeah. But
like, yeah, you can't really talk about that stuff without talking about the Hollow Earth, which is like a huge spoiler for the film. So there's that. Obviously the fights are incredible. The Mecha Godzilla, like because you know it's Batman vs Superman syndrome, where the two heroes have to team up to take down the evil person, and
yeah,
the Kong and Godzilla end up teaming up and just absolutely smack the living shit out of this thing, out of like Mecha Godzilla, and that fight is amazing. Like for a film that's incredibly CGI heavy, a la Transformers. In Transformers, I got a little sick because of everything that was happening, like all the CGI that was happening. I didn't feel that once during this movie, and it is crazy CGI heavy.
So you're telling me there's no testicles in this film?
There are no wrecking ball testicles. You are correct.
All right. Where would you like to see this?
I get so heated.
I know you do. Where would you two gentlemen like to see this series go next then?
Mothra.
Just expand things further like they did with the originals, or?
Yeah, I want to see him hatch the eggs.
Well, here's the thing, Lucas. So, the first draft for the movie included a post-credit scene.
Wasn't the post-credit scene Kong swinging through the Hollow Earth?
That was the post-credit scene they filmed. The first draft had a different post-credit scene.
Oh.
The post-credit scene for their first draft showed a Monarch base with a giant creature covered in stone. The creature then starts waking up, and they say it's reacting to a transmission coming from outer space.
Okay.
We're going to bring Gaiden into it.
Wait, you remembering who?
Dragon.
Oh.
Big robotic lizard with the like arm blades and all that sort of shit. Who was sent to Earth fucking like thousands of years ago in the OG ones that was mummified by Mothra.
See, this is where it gets to the point, right, of jumping the gun. Or jumping the shark. Because, like, the thing with the original, like, Godzilla movies, right? And this is what these movies have to worry about, right? Those Japanese monster movies are silly on purpose. They're not serious films. Like, they're there purely for entertainment, the same way that
Evil Dead.
Essentially, Marvel movies are there for entertainment, except Marvel is like, it takes itself seriously at the same time. These movies are like crazy serious. So like, and like rooted in science and all that kind of stuff.
When you bring in 500-foot tall robot samurais,
hey,
when you start bringing in 500-foot tall robot samurais from the past / future from outer space, it gets a bit silly.
Yeah, like once you kind of and then getting into like, because then obviously if they're doing the transmission thing right, then obviously they're going to be getting into aliens,
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Like the threshold at the minute is radioactive dinosaurs and giant monkeys.
But they already announced in King of Monsters. They said that Ghidorah came from outer space.
Wait, did they?
Yeah, they said that he's not of this Earth. They said that all history recordings from him say that he fell to Earth.
Oh, I missed that completely. I thought that
it's the King of Monsters that he is not from Earth, and that's why he fucks up the whole Titan ecosystem, is because he's not from here.
How the hell did I miss that?
That was a huge part of it.
I don't really remember. Because I remember like
his own factor and all that sort of shit comes into, because he's not from Earth.
I don't really remember.
All right. Well, we'll love and leave our extra large friends now, and move on over to some normal size friends, and that being, although they're still quite super, and that being the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're going to look at specifically episodes 1 to 4, which have now aired, and we will start with spoiler-free thoughts. What have you thought so far, Lucas?
Very good.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that.
there really isn't much I can say. It's Falcon, it's Winter Soldier. They're both funny. Like, they're both funny dudes in real life. They're both pretty funny characters. For the most part, while the show is it is very much a return to like the Winter Soldier style storytelling, and a very big what would you call it? Like tonal change from WandaVision. Yeah, it's just been great so far. There's nothing much I can really talk about without getting into the spoilers.
All right.
For those that don't know what's going on and kind of what the show's about, but so far, like the introduction of all the characters that have come into it so far, like there isn't anyone I've particularly disliked the portrayal of. Everything makes sense.
Yep. What about you, Ethan? How have you felt about the first 4 episodes?
Good. The action's been great. It's a nice sort of change of pace compared to WandaVision with its mysteries. But still, WandaVision was a bit more exciting, I would say, in terms of its story.
Different.
Yeah, different and unpredictable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel WandaVision was again like, I feel sorry for WandaVision in a way, because I think if we had the original release schedule, things might have been a little different. Maybe, I don't know. WandaVision was an attempt to try something different, and it worked for a lot of people, and it didn't for some people. I think The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a safe TV series for Marvel, because it is just pure MCU. Like, it's you watch the movie, you watch this, it's the same beats, with a little bit more story in between. It does have a bit of it's definitely Winter Soldier feel, a little bit, even sometimes a little bit sort of Jason Bourne-y, you know what I mean? Because they're moving around the world and they're following terrorists and these sorts of things. So, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm personally enjoying it more than WandaVision, just because I dig that. I'm more of a visceral action kind of guy when it comes to my superhero films, you know? So I haven't heard a bad word about it from anybody. Like, I know there was people that were on the fence with WandaVision. I don't think I've heard a single negative comment about this so far. But, again, it's not taking any risks. So I think if you're looking for something meatier you're going to want to wait for Loki, and I think that's when things are going to go off in another different tangent again. But it's great to get to know Sam better, because I always felt Sam was sort of in the background a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's been really enjoyable to see his character sort of shine a bit brighter. You know, Zemo has been great. The actor that portrays him is you know, he's doing it really well. I don't want to sort of spoil too much of the other casting so far, but there's been quite a few cameos, especially when you sort of consider. And I know, of course, WandaVision was different because Wanda was creating the reality, so we didn't have a lot of cameos. But if you think about it, there's been quite a few cameos from the rest of the MCU in this so far, which is kind of neat, because I like those sort of links. But the other trade-off too is, whereas WandaVision was trying to be smart, and for some people it was, like, there's nothing particularly smart about Falcon and Winter Soldier so far. It's more of a action ride, really, with some little bit of sort of spy stuff. Without it being like, there's no real. I've never finished an episode and gone dun dun dun. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? Oh, like, you know, I haven't had that. Whereas at least WandaVision did give me that. You know,
it's like you said, it's honestly a cross between Winter Soldier and Jason Bourne in that sense.
Yeah, so it's not bad. It's just safe. And yeah, as I said, I haven't had there was plenty of episodes of WandaVision, love it or hate it, that I finished and I went, holy crap, like, what's going to happen now? What does this mean? Like, edge of your seat. Like, WandaVision hasn't really had Falcon and Winter Soldier, I haven't had an episode in like that for me. Not yet. Not really. So, but yeah. It's good. I'm enjoying it. And yeah, look, if you've got Disney Plus, you have absolutely no reason not to watch it, especially if you enjoy Marvel stuff. But yeah. I'm enjoying it more than WandaVision. I'll say that. And hopefully not hurt anyone's feelings. Alright, so again, going to ding the bell loudly as we now step into spoilers. If you don't want to hear any spoilers for episode 1 through 4, again, scroll down, look at those timestamps, skip to where we talk about what's coming to the cinemas and streaming services soon. Let's jump in. Lucas, I'm sure you've got a lot of sort of interesting tidbits for us. What's going on?
I mean, nothing really. Like, it's... this is the show I've actually, like, not been kind of sitting back and theory crafting on stuff. Like,
now we have a confirmed character joining us in episode 5. We're not sure who the character is, other than it's never been presented in the MCU before. But
yes. Very well known.
Played by a very well-known actor actress.
Yes.
So
what's interesting too is that apparently the there's a Instagram called Atlanta Filming, where they get screenshots or they get photographs and stuff of, like, people on set and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They know who it is, and they're refusing to release the images.
Interesting.
Because whoever it is, like, it sounds like it's a pretty big name.
I can tell you who it is.
The actor, or the actor, or the actress. Yeah, I mean, who is it?
Is it Mephisto?
No, it's Goldie Hawn as John Walker's mum.
That's awesome. That's
no,
awesome.
I'm kidding. I
Oh, really? If that was, I would still be fine with that. I love Goldie Hawn.
It was just a theory that I saw her in the other day. Just because it's his actual real mum. That was the only reason why someone said it.
And wherever this thing is, though, it takes... So, the interesting thing about it, right, is that whoever this person is and whatever this character is, they specifically named a specific location in Atlanta where this was filmed, and it's a courthouse.
Yes, I have heard rumors that it may be an introduction for She-Hulk.
That's the thing. They said that this person, literally, the person who is playing this person and this character have not been announced, period. So it's anyone that you can think of that has been announced, like, again, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, any of that type of stuff, it will be none of those characters. It's a whole new character that is known to Marvel fans, being played by someone who hasn't even been announced for the show yet.
Yeah, and they've really managed to keep this under wraps too.
Whoever it is, man, like I'm kind of hoping this isn't a fucking Evan Peters deal again, where it's just another...
Bring in from Fox. Bring in someone from Fox or one of the other IPs.
No. It's like throwaway character, like...
Oh, okay, and then, yeah. Get people hyped, like, and then just dump it, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I hope that they're using the platform to debut the character and then continue the character as is. You know what I mean?
Do we have time frames for this yet? Is this show taking place after WandaVision? Do we know that?
6 months after the blip.
Sorry?
So after WandaVision.
after WandaVision, it's 6 months post blip. So it's WandaVision is 6 weeks. This is 6 months, and then Far From Home is 8 months.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wonder. I mean, look again. You can theory craft this ship for 8. We're just going to have to wait. It'd be neat though if this is somehow connected to a multiverse event, though. It would be interesting if it if this is all kind of, because it's got to lead into it somehow. Like obviously, WandaVision started this, but
I don't think so. I don't think they would do that because they've been very clear with the lines in the sand. Like Doctor Strange hasn't been involved in a political thriller. You know what I mean? He's the magic guy, so they're going to put him in the natural stuff.
Yeah, wizards, aliens, or robots.
You're not going to see Ghost Rider in like a buddy comedy show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's going to be. I think they're very clear with their lines in the stand of what's going to be what. I think this is very much outside the multiverse related stuff. This is just a straight up, like, again, political thriller, if you want to call it that.
There's been some,
like Winter Soldier was.
There's been some wishful thinking too that we might see spit off with Zemo forming a sort of band of villains along with
Thunderbolts.
The Thunderbolts. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. There's been some wild theories, rumors that it would be neat to get a Thunderbolt spin-off, Abomination and all the rest of it.
Well, I can tell you that Thunderbolts is coming at some point, and it'll include most likely Yelena from Black Widow, Abomination, and Ghost from Ant-Man 2.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Yeah,
a very reliable source.
But I mean, look, it's great. It's good to see Carter. Is it Sharon?
Carter, yeah.
Yeah. Although, do you think that she might be the power broker?
She's definitely working for him.
No, I think she's a power broker. That's why she didn't go into that shipping container. She didn't want her to see him.
Yeah, it's possible. I think there's definitely more to her story.
Here's another thing to it. When they were filming Knives Out, Rian Johnson said that Apple told them they were not allowed to give Chris Evans a iPhone because he's the villains. Villains in TV shows and movies are not allowed to use iPhones. Every other character in Falcon Winter Soldier has used an iPhone except Sharon.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Huh. So what are they?
They've also said that though that's part of her being off the grid since Civil War.
I don't believe that.
So, I don't know. Like, it could be a misdirect.
Sharon.
Hey.
Like it's Sharon.
I don't know. There's a part of me
like chased out of America. She went to Madrigal because it's the only thing she could do, and she's like, "Well, fuck it, I'm here. Why don't I do this shit to make me survive?"
There's a part of me that thinks it's that Donya Madani character. Like,
what from?
I get that she's in Europe and she's not in.
Thing,
but like, they didn't necessarily say that the Power Broker was in Madripoor, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's assumed though, but yeah,
it's assumed and it's implied, but they never outright say where the Power Broker is.
Yeah.
So I do want to say, I don't know if anyone caught it. I think Ethan did because I think we talked about it. They're very heavily laying the groundwork for Doctor Doom in this show.
Oh yeah, when
the whole thing with like Sokovia basically being bought and sold by different governments,
cannibalized by its neighbors in Europe. I feel like that's the setup for
Latveria.
Latveria.
Yeah.
No, well, I think episode 5 is going to be. I mean, they're enjoyable, but I think 5 is going to be the one that's going to have some sort of interesting twists, perhaps, because then we've only got one more after that. It's only 6 episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, only 6.
Rumor has it too that this episode coming up is going to be a full hour as well.
Yeah, 61 minutes.
Yeah, big one. So makes sense. Penultimate episode. So yeah, but yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, we had Rhodey. We had said a lot of just a lot of exactly, a lot of throwbacks to and bringbacks from previous MCU movies and such, which I just like the fact that it's tying in. I like that grounding, and again, it seems to me that this would have, if things had gone to plan, this would have again made a bit more sense as the first, if only because again it's got that grounding, so it's sort of easing people into this new TV show sort of format with characters that they're familiar with and they've come to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think you're right. Had this have been first, I think WandaVision probably would have been received a bit more well.
People just might have been a bit more comfortable, whereas
Yeah.
they were so used to MC. Look, I think either way it would have got a bit of backlash, but people were so used to the movies, and then they came into something so very different. Whereas this is clearly Falcon's so clearly, similar to thing. It might have just been a softer cushion to land on. People go, oh, okay, yeah, I can get behind this TV show stuff. This isn't so bad, and then it might have just been a bit of an easier step. Because then we would have watched WandaVision and gone, oh, Darcy's back, blah, blah. Like, it would have been perhaps just taken a bit easier. But, oh, well. It is what it is, and that's the way it is. And if you haven't watched WandaVision, well, then you can watch them the right way around. Well, when I say right way, you can watch them the originally intended way around. You can watch Falcon first and then go back and watch WandaVision. I don't think it's going to make any difference which order you watch those two in. So, not from what I've seen so far.
Do you guys want to know what I think the last scenes of episode 6 are going to be?
Yeah, by all means. Let's theory.
If you remember back to the first trailer, there were shots of
Him throwing the shield?
Throwing the shield at the farmhouse with some trees. We haven't seen that at all. So
We
obviously,
sure haven't.
Shield back at some point.
Well, I feel like that's going to be the next episode.
Yeah, and the courthouse will probably be John Walker.
Getting trial, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I reckon it'll end with Sam with the shield back. And
Is there a character that you're aware of in the comic books that's sort of capable of handling like a military style court case?
Justin Hammer?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to come back, right? He's coming back.
Yeah, no, only they have plans for him.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it sounds like to me it's going to be sort of a very much a public court martial. So you're going to need someone that can be somehow involved in that. At a guess.
Matthew Murdock has not been in the MCU yet.
He's a nobody from fucking Hell's Kitchen. He's not going to handle an international case of this, like, caliber.
That's why. Someone who's not biased.
No, it's Captain Britain. He's come in to show you how it's done. Oh, dear. I don't know. I honestly don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I think it's US Agent is his normal name, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what he mentioned.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to, as soon as that scene started and the mate, his friend got killed, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And as soon as it started going out in the streets, I'm like, yep, he's going to get caught on film. You can see it coming. It's a little predictable, but yeah, obviously now I think he's going to become a villain, really. Another super soldier. And possibly the last for a while. Now the serums are all destroyed, at least that we know of. So I was explaining to the girls too, because they were sort of like, oh, this and that. And I said, you got to remember too, Captain America is made with a version of the serum. Bucky is made with a slightly different version of the serum. He's a Hydra experiment. And again, these new supers are going to be slightly different again because it's a third-party serum. Obviously from the same sort of base, but perhaps slightly different in terms of what they can do. So, and of course we've got the Wakanda soldiers now returning. I thought that scene where Bucky has his arm detached was neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was pretty cool. She just sort of like drop. Yeah, that's cool. Again, I'm appreciating all those throwbacks. That's neat. So there was some rumors going around too. I think that people were talking about something like a cameo or something from Black Panther, and that got shot down really quickly.
Apparently Marvel would say like, no, that's not going to happen. They go like, oh, maybe, but they're like, no, not happening at this one.
Yeah, not happening at all. Yeah, they were very. I mean, sometimes Marvel likes being coy about things and letting people theory. They came out straight away, very, very clearly, and was like, nope, hard nope. So don't expect any of that. So. All right, well, we're just going to have to wait until Friday now for episode 5. I think it's going to be a stellar episode. I'm really keen for it, so I've been really enjoying this. And then hopefully it's only a short hop, skip, and a jump from this and then into Loki, which is also looking really exciting.
Not only that, What If marketing is starting this week.
Ooh, that's going to be really good. Because that's animated though, isn't it?
Ethan sent me a poster. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. So we'll be getting probably another trailer this week and a release date probably this week too.
Yeah. I think because we're going to see an undead Captain America in one of them, aren't we?
Yeah, Marvel Zombies.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So I think so many people are going to be frothing for Marvel Zombies. Such a fun, just a dumb fun storyline. Yeah, keen. keen. All right, so let's take a look at what's coming soon to cinemas and streaming services. I can tell you that this Friday. Sorry, go ahead, Lucas.
The big one for me is this week. Nobody comes out, which is the Bob Odenkirk John Wick.
Yep. That's been we've been looking for that. You also got the Unholy on the 15th as well, which we've talked about in the past, which looked good.
Holy shit, it looks amazing.
Yeah,
come out in the States, and a bunch of my friends who are like horror nerds are all like, it's pretty good. So
yeah. Produced by Sam Raimi.
Unholy.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yes.
Yeah, I fucking tried it before we started.
Yeah. So 22nd of April, of course, Mortal Kombat. I'll probably go and see that with my daughter because she's recently discovered Mortal Kombat. I think we spoke about that, so that's cool. What else is coming out? 6 Minutes to Midnight. Judi Dench. That's Every Breath You Take, United States. Nothing with dates yet. There's sort of stuff floating around, but nothing huge. There's a new Stratham film at some point.
Yeah, the Guy Ritchie.
Yeah. Chiwetel Ejiofor, Lockdown. Yeah, Spiral. There's Spiral 13th of May. Of course, there's a lot of this stuff. I mean, it could change. All we need is one more
They'll go up.
COVID scare and it all gets bumped. But yeah, the immediate ones to be aware of between now and the next podcast is Unholy, Nobody, and Mortal Kombat. Do we have any idea what's coming to the streaming services?
Not a whole lot. I've just been looking while we've been doing this.
If you can wait this long, April 16th is Fast and Furious Spy Races Mexico Season 4.
Get out.
Beautiful.
Incredibly excited for that.
I was looking for before. There's not a whole lot coming.
All right, so a bit of a quiet spell, but I guess that's been okay because the streaming services have kept us propped while we're waiting for the cinemas, and now the cinemas are coming back. And of course, well, it's not too far because we're April, so next month in June we're going to have Black Widow and stuff like that hitting the streaming services as well. So if you are in an area where getting to a cinema is still not a viable option, or you don't feel quite comfortable doing that yet, you're still going to have options to watch that stuff at home, which is good. It's good. Got to stay safe. Got to stay healthy. So, that pretty much wraps up this episode. Some exciting stuff has happened. Some exciting stuff is coming, and probably most excitingly, the cinemas are back, baby. Not quite as they were, but they're back, which is great. Stuff worth going and seeing at the movies. So it must have been good to go and see. I know you love your Kong and Godzilla, but it must have been really good to just be in a cinema again too.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It was a weird feeling, but it was good to be back. Like, I mean, we went and saw Wonder Woman 84, but even then, that was a bit like you were more nervous about the people that were around you. But when we went to Godzilla vs Kong, literally, everything was fine, kind of thing.
Yeah, it is literally. I have not been to a cinema since before March last year, so it's been over a year for me now. So. I'm looking forward. I think Mortal Kombat will be the one that draws me back in. So I have high hopes. It's the first time we've had an R-rated Mortal Kombat, well, as film anyway. So I'm keen. All right then. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. You keep on being heroes, and we'll be back in another 3 weeks, more than likely. Thank you to everybody that tuned in and had a listen to us. Hopefully, you're as excited as us about the things that are on the screen at the moment and things that are coming. And a huge thank you to our Patreon supporters who keep us afloat. They pay for our SoundCloud and everything else. We hope you'll join us again for the next episode in about 3 weeks. And by that stage, we'll have watched all of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So next episode, we'll be doing our final thoughts on that, which would be really cool. And we should also have Mortal Kombat, and Nobody, possibly Unholy. So we should have some really good reviews for the next episode. So it's cool. I'm excited. But until then, take care, look after yourselves, wear your mask where you've got to, and hopefully you'll join us for the next episode.